Following Focus Shane's Rib Shack, another Thursday night. Big game this week between Grimsley and Page coming up down at Grimsley on Friday night. Going to get into it tonight. Going to have a lot of the Grimsley offensive line tonight. Ben Weekley is going to be with us to start things off, senior left guard for the Grimsley Whirlies. And that big game with Page coming up on Friday. And we got some news today, too. We'll break this down and we'll further along into our interviews. We did get news today that Northern Guilford had to forfeit another game today.
Really? Wow.
Forfeit number 2, and Northwest picked up the win. So that means Northwest is unbeaten now.
Wow, that's crazy.
Makes it crazy. Using too many JV players in a game, and we got.
So it was the JV players again?
13 JV players in the game. Can only use 12.
Right. Wow.
They're going back, clarifying all the different details about that now. But again, crazy news today on that. But even bigger news: Page and Grimsley on Friday night. What makes this game so big, Ben?
It's just the tradition between us. I mean, we've been playing since the early 1900s, and it's the rivalry, and everyone comes home for the game. Everybody schedules their reunions. It's always a packed crowd, fun game, high intensity. So.
What kind of other activities have you been involved in? Anything leading up to the game this week? Anything going on already?
Well, tonight we have there's a bonfire after the JV game, so that's always fun. We get the drum line out there. There's a pep rally tomorrow before the game, so that's always fun.
And I know you guys are excited about the game too coming up. I mean, you talk about that history over the years. You go back and hear other people talk about the tradition of this game. Other fans, older fans, and people who've gone to school at Grimsley, maybe people gone to school at Page.
Yes, sir. Definitely. People come back all the time, and they're like, "We just want you to be Page. That's the big game." So
it's almost like maybe not exactly like, but maybe in some ways similar to NC State North Carolina game, in-state rivals,
right.
in-city rivals, and almost like a Duke North Carolina basketball series too. A lot like that, because they tell you, well, we want you to win this one, but you guys have been winning some more games. And in fact, how did you guys turn it around? That's my big question. I go back and you guys walloped Southern Guilford 32-0. I guess back maybe when they had Reggie Gillespie might have still been in the lineup then. You beat them 32-0. All of a sudden you guys had a bit of a tailspin.
Right.
Then you came back last week, put up 55 points. I circled that 55 points versus Southern Alamance. How did you guys get things headed back in the right direction? How did it come back together last week?
Yeah, we were coming off a bye, and we had so many injuries. We had at one point against Northwest, we had 7 starters out, so we were a little battered. And the bye week, we had some good practices, some high intensity. Our defense was hitting a little harder, and versus Southern Alamance, we just got down in the dirt, played hard, and kept pushing. I think we had 430 some rushing yards. So
wow.
Only passed twice.
Only 2 passes. Was Jake Simpson back for that game?
He was, but he played receiver because his shoulder,
really?
He still can't throw quite yet.
Interesting. So did Malik Stinson, was he the quarterback?
He was.
He was the running quarterback then.
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't pass much. Yeah.
He had about 103 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Scott Johnston had 252 and 4 touchdowns. So all of Stinson's yards came in the first half.
Yeah. Stinson was quarterback for the first half and went off, and Trayvon Timberlake got in there some. In the second half, they put Scott back there, and he just took off, kept going.
Wow. So that quarterback spot's where you got most of your yards from.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff. Interesting. We didn't know those things. We saw the numbers coming out of the game. Didn't know the details. So Jake was lined up as a wide receiver.
Yeah, some of the game. Yeah.
Tell you, what do you expect? I mean, you guys, are you going to be in a similar situation going against Page? And I mean, you guys will do. This year's been kind of the offense. We saw your first game against Ragsdale. It was like quick out passes. Yeah. Your wide receivers or your receivers are more like running backs anyway. Quick out pass and get some yards.
Yeah. Our offense is fast-paced, up-tempo, no huddle. So just like to get out there and run.
So you guys are keeping the NASCAR offense going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's good. But again, they turned it around so much. What do you think was going? Was the injuries pretty much what closed you down in those other games?
For the most part, and with the injuries, we lost a little bit of the confidence. And it's harder when you're playing, going on the fly.
Right.
And we just don't have a lot of good depth players. I mean, we do, but we only dressed out 32 players for one game. So.
Wow, but a lot of those players must be among that offensive line. I mean, you got about 8 guys here tonight. That's about a fourth of that 32.
Yes, sir.
So the offensive line, a lot of seniors, a lot of closeness, a lot of.
Yes, sir.
I use the old scientific term, a lot of cohesiveness among that offensive line.
There's some great chemistry. We've all been here for 3 or 4 years, so definitely a close group.
And you were looking for more when you began your senior year, but now you're probably just thinking about week to week. Let's get all we can every week.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're 1-0 in the conference, looking good. Hopefully we can win the conference. That's our goal right now. So,
what do you see? Who's the top enemy from Page?
As far as player?
Yeah,
Jalen Gavin. I think if we stop him, we can definitely. The offense will get going. If the defense can stop Jalen Gavin, we'll be good.
Yeah, we put that in the good, I guess, conservative football football terms, if we stop Jalen Gavin, we've got a good chance to win.
Yes, sir.
That's what they would say.
Yes, sir.
If we stop him, then we're going to win this game. We got a very good chance to win. So a lot on Jalen Gavin's shoulders for Page tomorrow night. Why do you think Grimsley will be a playoff team this year?
I think we definitely finish strong. So I think if we finish strong, I think we've got a couple tough games, Southeast and Dudley coming up, but I think we can handle it, and we're even going to get even stronger. Our star wide receiver Julian Hudnall will be back, so and maybe Jake will be back throwing some quarterback. So
you see Jake maybe back throwing some quarterback tomorrow night, I guess.
I'm not sure about tomorrow. I think he's still healing a little bit, but in the future, definitely.
Well, if there's no secrets anyway, you guys are a running team right now, so those guys will have a quarterback, probably about a 75-80% chance going to run anyway.
Right. Yes, sir.
You guys are not leaving any mystery to it. You guys, they know Page will know what's coming. It's just, can you stop it?
Yep.
Yeah, and that's where the offensive line comes in.
Yeah.
What makes this offensive line? We talked about already. What makes these guys so special again?
I mean, we're all pretty big. And we're all seniors except our right guard. He's a sophomore. It's just we get down and we get dirty and keep pushing.
How have you enjoyed the time spent among the offensive line? You got to be a different. You got to be a different breed to be a linebacker. Got to be a different breed to be a defensive back. You also have to be a different breed to be an offensive lineman. But talk about what it takes to be an offensive lineman.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean you can see my arms are real bruised.
Yeah, I used to be in that same game as a kid. I go to these classes. I didn't think about it until somebody says it one day. You got to
all your different come up to me like, what's up with all the bruises?
What's going on at home?
Yeah.
And I went on and played a little bit of college football, just a little bit. But I got there and they gave us these pads.
Right.
A true story. I said, what in the world are these things for? And always, so you go to class, your arms are black and blue. You just take it in stride.
Yeah.
But that is a regular occurrence. Those offensive linemen.
Yeah.
And then you get sometimes the black and blue becomes a little kind of a light yellow looking color, brown color. Those are like, I guess, tricks of the trade.
Yeah.
Badges of courage, so to speak.
Right.
Blocking. How do you block a little guy? Like, say I'm a little guy, like a linebacker, defensive back. As a lineman, how do you block that guy?
You just gotta, the technique we're taught is step on their toes first. Don't go lunging at them. You want to get up there close and drive them off. Because if you lunge, they're a little faster than you, so they'll try to get around you.
So do you literally try to step on their toes?
I mean, you can't really step on their toes.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. Like, hey, this is interesting.
If you think about it,
you get in front of them.
Get real close.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking about that. I hadn't never heard of that technique, but hey, you never know. It might
works.
be. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Yeah. Well, Ben Weekly's with us from the Grimsley Whirlies, and what would be your favorite high school team other than Grimsley?
Northern. I've got some friends in Northern.
Okay.
They're pretty good.
Wow. Yeah.
I like to follow them.
What about, say, your favorite college team?
Definitely Wake Forest.
Wake Forest Demon Deacons?
Yes, sir.
Do you get to go to some of their games?
Yeah, I went and saw them play state. That was a good game. They played very well.
How about your favorite professional team?
Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, yeah.
They're struggling a little bit this year, but...
Well, they've got the makings to have a good team. They could have a good team.
Yeah. They've had some tough injuries, but they'll be all right.
Why did you choose football?
Mostly my size. I mean, I had never played until 10th grade, and I moved here to Grimsley. And I was just a big kid, and I decided to try out football, and it turned out pretty good. Started JV.
It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Moved on up.
And did they encourage you to come out since you were kind of a bigger kid?
No, when I came here, I played basketball before, and I kept putting on some weight, getting taller, and so I decided to try football out instead, and it worked out well.
You look at some other things about Ben Weekly with his Grimsley Whirlies, hobbies outside of football.
Well, I'm a pretty good student, so I like school. I'm in the student council at Grimsley, vice president.
Good stuff.
School, so I'm a Boy Scout, so I enjoy the outdoors, and I'm just a big sports fan overall. Follow all the sports.
Ben, what else about the game for tomorrow night? How do you get ready for the game tomorrow night? What's your preparation like?
Just focus. We'll go eat in seclusion and stay away from all the people.
Oh, yeah. Just get ready in that way then.
Sure.
Good stuff, good stuff. Who's the best teacher at Grimsley?
I would have to say Roberta Rowan. She teaches math.
Okay. Gotcha. What's the final score of the game going to be tomorrow night?
Hopefully, I would say 49-0. Get them paid back for a couple years ago.
Wow, that'd be a good one, 49-0. That'd be a big Grimsley win there.
Yes, sir.
Looking at some more things with Ben Weekly. Got a lot of Grimsley players with us tonight. Keeping roll here at Shane's Rib Shack. Did you get to think about the game tonight? You got a big game tonight down in Chapel Hill, the North Carolina game, taking on Miami. What about that game?
Well, I think UNC's been struggling a little bit to get their running game going, but I think TJ Logan from Northern has been getting a little bit more carries. So, I think he could step in and be a real help, but I think it'll be a good game for him.
Do you see him getting a push tonight?
I think so. I think they need somebody to step up, and he's the right guy for the job.
What about Zarek Ebron out of Smith?
He's awesome. He came and talked to our team before the Northwest game, I believe.
That's
and
good stuff.
It was cool to meet him. It was on their bye week. And
wow, it was cool. It's good stuff. Ben Weekley with us, senior left guard for the Grimsley Whirlies. And what about Charlie Jones? Remember Charlie Jones out of Grimsley?
Yeah, he's at A&T now.
Saw him on TV last night. What about Charlie and how he's advanced?
Yeah, he started off in high school. He was a pretty good tight end, and now he's just gotten better, gotten the technique better, and he's doing good out there for A&T.
Do you see maybe you follow in the footsteps of Charlie, maybe A&T one day, or where are you going to go to college?
I'm looking more academic-wise, going to Wake or Carolina.
Gotcha. Is Wake, again, that's your favorite college? Maybe
Yes,
you get a chance to go to Wake?
Yes, sir. Wake's my number one.
Gotcha. Well, Ben, good job tonight.
Yes, sir.
Keeping it moving at Shane's Rib Shack, and we'll be looking for Coach Rest in a few minutes. He'll be